right, good evening, everyone. I think we finally put out all the fires, and we're ready to go. Not too bad, just a little bit after 7 o'clock. Thank you all for coming out tonight. We are going to start with the 5th grade orchestra this evening. I'm just going to tell you the first couple of things that they're playing, because I'll tell you a little bit more about what we've done so far this year after a couple of things, because their arms are going to need a break, and I promised them that. So the very first thing that you are going to hear them play is the D major scale, which if you were at our December concert, you heard our 6th grade orchestra play this. Our 5th grade orchestra is playing this because scales are so important. Every single piece of music that we play in this class and all the way through middle school and high school is based on the notes from a scale. So if we don't know our scales, we can't learn our music. So that's the first thing you're going to hear 5th grade orchestra play. The second thing that you will hear them play is good old-fashioned Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and then we'll do something a little bit fancy with Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star before I talk to you again. I will be playing with 5th grade orchestra again tonight, but on Twinkle, I am actually not playing the same music as them to help get them ready for next year in 6th grade when I'll be conducting them, and they'll all have different parts going on. So, 5th grade orchestra, we're going to start.
1, 2, ready, go. One, two, three, go. Cincinnati Chili.
once again, for those of you who were at our December concert, you remember me talking a little bit about how our big project for that concert for 5th grade, other than figuring out what is this instrument I'm holding in my hands, was working on earning their bowing license. Now, as you look across the 5th grade orchestra, you will probably notice that there are a lot of people with ribbons on their instruments. Some of them have lots of ribbons that are on their case, so you can't see them on their instruments right now. But we started off doing orchestra karate in January this year. So every single ribbon on their instrument represents a skill on their instrument. So the white ribbon, they only had to play on one string. Yellow ribbon was one string, but it was a different string. Orange and red were building up to the scale and playing the scale. Then as they move on, it gets more complicated. So, in the last thing that you just heard, the Cincinnati Chili Twinkle, you heard that not every single note was the same length. So up until this point in the year, we've all been playing, this note is this long, or this rest is this long, and that's it. They've now started having to look at what note am I playing, what string am I on, and is this a long note, a short note, a fast note, a slow note, what's going on here? And that has been incorporated in the belts as well. We even have a few 5th grade orchestra members who have made it through all 9 5th grade orchestra karate belts and have started working on the 6th grade orchestra karate belts, or even earned a few 6th grade orchestra belts in anticipation for next year. So this 5th grade group has just been killing it this year. We have 2 more fancy versions of Twinkle left for you. So we've got Run Pony, Run Pony. And then the last one, the really, really fun one, Wish I Had $1 Million, where everything is really short. So it sounds like that would be the easiest, but when we're all playing short and fast, it's hard to stick together in that one. So that's why that's our grand finale for 5th grade orchestra. I also want you to watch, because it happened so well at Cincinnati Chili, check out how their bows are moving the same direction at the same time. We warmed up a little bit in the band room before we came out here, and it sounded awesome, but it also looked really awesome. So enjoy 5th grade orchestra's last 2 pieces.
Run, pony, run, pony. Super deep breath. Short bows. And watch. Watch Mrs. Bell. Wish I had $1 million.
you came in while our middle schoolers are getting set up here. The very first thing you're going to hear from 6th grade orchestra is actually 6 students who are given the opportunity to go down to the Freedom Center and perform there on our Night of Freedom. And the thing that I think is really cool about this is there's a theme for that night every year. And a lot of the time, the groups end up playing or singing older spirituals, slave hymns, that kind of thing. And so I spoke to this group of 6th graders and asked them, do we want to do some of that music, or would you like to focus on a different time period? And they said, we would really like to do something from the civil rights movement. So we found the music for We Shall Overcome and decided that we wanted to play that to help represent that time period, because it is also of great importance. So they've been really fun to work with. This has been an added piece on top of the other 2 pieces you're going to hear tonight from the 6th grade orchestra. As you came in, you may have noticed there were some small white half sheets that said Summer String Studio on the top. Every summer, Mrs. Bell, who's helping set over there, and I teach lessons over at the high school. So if your student is interested in keeping up their playing over the summer with just a little bit of guidance, they come to the high school once a week, half an hour on Tuesdays. You pick a time slot sometime between 3:30 and 7 p.m. $5 a lesson. The way we usually do it is we start with scales, of course, and then we let the student pick one piece of music. Mrs. Bell always has this giant stack of movie music and pop tunes and all kinds of fun stuff. And then we pick a piece of music that most violinists learn, or most violists learn, most cellists, most bass players, that kind of thing. So if you are interested in getting your students signed up for that, please make sure you take that half sheet. You can email us to set up a time. Our phone numbers are on there to set up a time, or you can even return that half sheet with your preferred time on there. Get that turned in before the last day of school, and those will be starting on Tuesday, June 4th. If your student is renting an instrument from the school, whether or not they are signed up for lessons, we need every school instrument returned by Monday, May 20th, just to make sure that we don't need to put new strings on there or get a new bow, any routine maintenance that we like to take care of over the summer. If they're signed up for lessons, we will then have that instrument waiting for them at their very first lesson ready to go. So we're going to play We Shall Overcome with our Freedom Center group. And then after that, we're going to play Over the Rainbow, which will feature our entire 6th grade orchestra. But I also have some helpers here from the middle school wing. Both pieces that 6th grade is playing tonight had piano parts that are very, very important. Didn't have a piano player just ready to go, so I figured I would rewrite the music for some of our middle schoolers here. These guys stay after school with this algorithm there, and they do extra stuff at the middle school. So they'll be joining us for Over the Rainbow, and then of course our grand finale of Uptown Funk. the sixth graders are playing have pushed them crazy, and I think they would agree with that. But they have really risen, oh, I'm losing my mind, risen to the challenge. So our finale is going to be Uptown Funk. We've worked really hard on this one. Strangely enough, the hardest part has been bringing the funk, but hopefully we will do that tonight. Before we do our finale though, I want to thank, there's so many people to thank. Most of all, you all, for supporting all of these guys up here. They would not be as amazing as they are without such a supportive community like you all. So thank you for all that you do. There are tons of people in this building who support everything that we do as well. The amount of people who helped us set up for this concert tonight was crazy. So everyone that we work with in this building is awesome. This district has always supported music so much, and you can clearly tell that by how many people we have in this program. This is an amazing place to be a music teacher. And along those same lines, I have two amazing colleagues here tonight, Ms. Alger and Mrs. Bell. I cannot thank the two of you enough. So thank you, everyone. And without further ado, Uptown Funk.
One last